What's up, I Like Scary? We are back. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'm having an awesome day. It feels great to be a horror fan. So you guys, today we're going to talk about some news that Noah Schnapp just talked about that's related to Stranger Things Season 5. He recently had an interview with Vogue, and he got, a little deep into Stranger Things 5, and he talked about a lot that I think we all should talk about. So you guys, before we get started, definitely smash the like button as we dive deep into this. Starting off, you guys, so yeah, he had an interview talking about Stranger Things Season 5, talking about the character of Will and what's going to happen and everything, possibly. And the way he's talking, it's definitely seeming like that Will is going to make it. He's going to make it. I'm going to kind of touch on, some theories I have along the way. But he says this. It ties back to where it begins. Full circle. I'm excited for fans to see where we wrap his character. I think they'll be really pleased, but also shocked. So, this right here alone already has me like hyped, because a lot of people out here are just saying so many different roles for Will. I'm on the boat where I think that it's going to be something similar to where Will gets converted over to Vecna. He's, obviously feels him and everything. He's going to get converted over to Vecna. But, and remember Vecna said he's going to have this army and stuff. Maybe Will's a part of that army. And I think that Elle's possibly going to have to get Will and Max back to their, their side. But I even think that he's going to be using Max. Maybe he's going to be using Max like how he did Will. Remember, he was like, they were like, he's eyes for him, he's eyes, and they would have to burn it out of him and stuff like that. Maybe it could be something similar to that. But I definitely think that it could possibly be something like this, where Vecna converts Will over to his side. He gets him fully, and Elle and Mike, they have to work together to get him. Or maybe Will teams up with Elle, which is crazy. That's where that name comes into play, Will the Wise. And he actually is revealing that he has powers. And I think Will, if he has powers, like 1 and 11, I think it's definitely going to be something along the way of similar to how he knows where everything's at, what's going on with the Upside Down. Maybe he can track it, or maybe he even gets elevated more with power. So to proceed through what else he said, he also said, touching on that scene where he's in the surfer voice van, and he's crying silently as he's talking to Mike. And he says, I was just speaking with our director about this. I can't understand why it became so viral, because he also said, this picture, which I've seen a lot, has become a meme. A lot of people have been reposting it. And he's like, I don't understand why it became so viral. And he said that the director said, I think it's because it perfectly represents the feeling of suffering and silence of a quiet pain. I think a lot of people can relate to that, which is very true. You could see, sitting there, you can see Will just sitting there in a truck crying silently, and he's just like hurting. He's losing his friend and everything. Personally, I speculated, I think that Will knows that Mike is going to die, and he just wants to spend time with him, or he wants to stop it. And that's why he drew that picture of Mike fighting, the Dungeons and Dragons. But it could also mean, I miss playing Dungeons and Dragons with him. And you guys remember they made a promise about not playing at another party. But Mike is in Hellfire Club, so you got to think about that, you guys. And yeah, I actually want to talk about, who I think will, die, how this will end. I think after hearing this interview, it's still possible that Will can make a sacrifice. I've been on the boat with saying that Will can possibly make a sacrifice for the rest of the gang, but I speculated that maybe Elle has to be the one to sacrifice herself, because she's like that piece that started the gates and everything, that's connected to Vecna. That can be something. Or with Nancy's scene when Vecna showed her the future or whatever, when Holly and Mrs. Wheeler were dead, maybe his story plays out the way it was going to play out. That's why Nancy was scared to tell him that Mike dies. And maybe Elle just, steal that friend that's been being safe and, sticking around with everyone in Hawkins. So that can happen. I don't know. Steve Harrington, I came up with this crazy theory. Now, this is the last thing I want to say about it. Well, Steve Harrington, possibly, they said that he was going to get rolled off and he was going to die in that scene with Jonathan and Nancy and they're fighting the Demogorgons in the Byers house. He supposed to die in that scene, but you know, they continued on and made him the babysitter. So, I mean, it only makes sense to kill him off, sadly. I know there's a lot of Steve Harrington fans out there, the guy with the cool hair. I really just think, to be honest, if you guys might not like this, you know we lost Eddie Munson in season 5 and they killed Dustin. It broke his heart. Maybe because you know him and Steve was just like him and Eddie. They were that duo. Maybe it comes down to a point where they're back, you know, how they were, and it's Dustin and Steve, and that same scene plays out, but it's Steve instead of Eddie, and Dustin probably risks his life. He makes a sacrifice to keep Steve alive. That will hurt my soul. That will burn my heart if that happens. If Dustin sacrifices himself for Steve because he didn't want another Eddie on his hands, oh my God, it will hurt me, man, 'cause I love Dustin. And he just doesn't deserve to die. I don't want none of the group to die, like kid-wise. I love everybody on Stranger Things, but the kids will just hurt me. It will hurt me bad. But that could possibly be something that catches off guard. You know, Dustin sacrificed himself because he don't want Steve to end up like Eddie Munson. And yeah, Noah also said that they're going to be doing a lot of filming, majority of the filming in Atlanta, Georgia. That's where they film everything that has to do with Hawkins. So they said also that this is going to bring it back full circle to the beginning. It's not going to be any new characters in this, so that's good to know. We get to focus more on a group, and they're going to kick right up because it's going to be only 8 episodes. I want to say the first one being Crawl, but yeah, I think they're going to kick it right up from where it happens. You know, when the gates and everything open, and no new characters, but they do an awesome job at utilizing new characters and getting you attached, and you know, hating the ones you're supposed to hate and liking the ones you're supposed to like. So I'm excited to see what happens with Stranger Things 5, you guys. But unfortunately, this is the end of the video. Definitely smash the like button if you haven't. Comment down below, you guys, how do you think Stranger Things 5 is going to play? I would love to know that. But yeah, you all, I want you guys to hit me up on my social media. I Like Scary on Instagram, I Like Scary 77 on TikTok, Brandon on Facebook, and I Like Scary on Twitter. And yeah, you guys, right there where it says subscribe, next click join and become a member of the channel. Check out Patreon, the exclusive content and benefits of the channel. And yeah, you all, watch some horror movies, stay scary out there. I love you all. Peace.